Take, hearing a lot about, and it's not till next week. I think it's June 22nd.
Yeah, a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, when the Yankees, if it gets to this point, and Judge will, hit the arbiter's desk, and they will determine, is he going to get the 21 that he asked for, or is he going to get the 17 that the Yankees countered with, somewhere in between, whatever. But I'm hearing a lot of, and I wish that this was true. Hey, let's get this resolved before that actually transpires. Here's why I don't think it will happen. Number one, if I'm Judge at this point, I'm not settling for anything. I'm riding this bet that so far is going down as the greatest self-bet of all time. So from his point of view, I don't see the urgency to get it done. Number two, if you're the Yankees, you're in a really bad spot because you're negotiating against really at the worst possible time where his value is at peak value.
That's right.
So I know that we're all hoping for some sort of resolution. They walk out, they shake hands, $309 million, and everybody's happy. I don't know that that's going to happen.
Well, I think
Yankee fans need to start conditioning themselves to expect that it might not.
Well, I think the Yankee fan knows that Aaron Judge needs to be the franchise player for the next almost decade. Not maybe full decade, because I don't see him playing at 40 at the level that he's playing out. But Aaron Judge needs to be clearly, without any kind of idea to the contrary, that he is the most important player on the Yankees franchise. And the only way to do that is to offer him a deal that overpays him. We had this conversation about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, where you looked at all of the great players in the Tatises of the world, the Acuñas. They got paid because you could see them being great. Aaron Judge is great. We know he's great. Yeah, there was a little bit of injury concern, which I chalk up to circumstance. But you knew he was going to be great. You have to pay him. You overpay for your superstars. And so the way that the Yankees, I believe, can mitigate this and not get into an actual bidding war when the season's over, because the Giants are going to come after him. There could be some other teams. I keep saying the Rangers. That's probably not the case, but you know what I mean.
You got to let that one go.
They got money.
Take the L on the Rangers.
They got money and they like to spend it. So and they're trying to get relevant. The Dodgers, whoever it may be.
Maybe the Mets.
Even though Stevie Cohen said I wouldn't take him from the Yankee.
Well, somebody said that
intimated that they wouldn't
has
have
knowledge of the way Stevie Cohen is thinking.
I have knowledge of Stevie Cohen as well.
Yes,
I predicted his sale or his acquisition of the Mets. But my point is, somebody's going to come offer Aaron Judge a ton of money. The Yankees can get ahead of that by overpaying him before the arbitration hearing, which is a week from tomorrow. Now, is that likely? Probably not, because Hal is cheap with the purse strings right now. He wants to save money just in case they got to do something at the deadline. But the way baseball works, BT, you can do any kind of deal at any time. Right? It's like Lindor's deal. You think about it.
Yeah, but you'll still go over a threshold, and that's what the Yankees are hell-bent against going over.
But you can do it at any time. And
True.
If the Yankees truly value Aaron Judge, they have to consider trying to get him to come off his I'm not negotiating through the regular season stance and get a deal done now. It's going to cost them probably 40 plus, per year AAV for the first 5 or 6 years of it, but it's worth it if you ask me.
It's worth.
It is worth it, BT. How can you say it's not?
Well,
right? Because
from a business point of view, again, they're negotiating against themselves at the absolute worst time.
But sometimes that you got to do that.
Well, they've also put themselves in this position.
Exactly.
I understand that. And you can also make the case that while it seems to be based on the fact that he's projected to hit 66 home runs and obliterate the all-time, at least in terms of authentic all-time home run record, Roger Maris, 61, it could get worse. I mean, so as we sit here and say that they're going against themselves and they're sitting down, if they ever even thought about doing this right now, it could get worse for them.
That's right.
I understand that. But I still, dude, this to me,
I get it. Here's why.
I still don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he wants to.
But we don't know that.
No, we don't know that. But I don't think he wants to. I think that there's incredible value that no other team remotely possesses.
So let's back up. Let's back up 2 decades ago when you and I were in our very, young adult years. I was going to say impressionable years. I was like, no, we're not that young, dude. We were way past the teenage years at that point. But our adult years.
20 years ago. We're having fun 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, we were. But just remember those sports teams. There was a loyalty factor to sport. There was a all right, you got drafted by the New York Giants. I mean, if they're going to, get you close to what the market is, you just stay, right? Nobody. What do I always say to you? Nobody loves you like your mama, the first team that drafts you. But over the last 10 years, maybe even a little bit more than that, BT,
yeah, it's definitely more than that.
We have seen this loyalty goes out the window. Right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you start and finish your career with one team. It doesn't matter if, you go chase the money elsewhere or you go chase a championship elsewhere. We as fans have been conditioned to seeing it for a decade plus. And now it's, it's not sentimental. And so I hear what you're saying. Well, Aaron Judge doesn't want to go anywhere because he's a New York Yankee. And I think Aaron Judge, just like most athletes, first and foremost, want to win a championship, and then they want to get paid.
But he knows one of his best chances is to win a championship here.
Unless he goes to the Giants or the Dodgers.
I'm not saying there's no other teams. Or the Mets. I'm not saying there's no other teams. No, I'm not saying there's no other teams. But it's different. It's not like he's in a Mattingly situation in the late 80s when they were a complete mess.
Yeah, but they've missed.
Even Ewing 3-4 years in with the Knicks, where they just couldn't get it going before Patino came here.
Yeah, but they've mistreated them.
Well, they haven't mistreated. No, I disagree with that. I don't think mistreatment is not the right word. That's not the word that I would use. Now,
when I see
I do think that they've exploited maybe a little bit of
mistreatment.
But no,
he's your star.
No,
you got a Judge's corner. You sell the million jerseys, 99. He's been mistreated.
Wait. So
Let's call it what it is.
Okay, so I'm going to go back. You really think you're going to stand by that word mistreated?
Yes. When it comes to the financial,
they have not mistreated
the financial implications of his career. Because I can't get past this. Right? Aaron Judge
the chamber.
Aaron Judge has played 7. This is his 8th year in Major League Baseball. He's made $17 million. I read these articles. Aaron Judge made $10 million last year. Even if he loses the arbitration case, he's going to make 17. So he's getting a significant raise.
Yeah.
He's worth $25 to $40 million. Really, for the last couple of years. And now we're talking about...
Well, not the last couple of years,
he's getting
necessarily.
a raise.
No, to be fair.
You know what I mean.
No, but
you know what I mean.
But you can't gloss over that because that's a big part of the equation. When you say he's worth $35, $40 million the last couple of years, that's not fully true. His best season was his rookie year, and that was not 3 years ago.
Mike Trout has been worth the 30...
Forget about Mike Trout.
But it matters.
Who cares about Mike Trout?
Because baseball is funny money.
Mike Trout plays in a market where the fans don't give a rat's ass about baseball.
And Aaron Judge plays in a market where the fans give more than a rat's ass.
Correct.
They give an elephant's ass about what happens. And you know what? They haven't paid him. Mike Trout got paid. He's made $35 million.
And he's won nothing. And he's been in a position to win nothing.
It's not about winning anything.
It's part of it.
The money doesn't matter in Major League Baseball. I know we continue to say, well, they can't go over this number. Oh, they can't do this. They can't do that. These owners are billionaires, and they're making tons of money, more than we know, because you know what? The only sport in the country where they don't open their books and say, this is how much we actually made, therefore you deserve this much as a player, is Major League Baseball.
Well, unless you're Daniel Snyder and you have 2 books.
They are minting it in Major League Baseball. To even cry poverty to
I'm not
idiots
crying
spit,
I'm not.
as it pertains to Aaron Judge, or worse, to say, you know what? Arbitration allows us to screw you for 7 years until you come free.
It's the system, dude.
But it's taking advantage.
It's changed,
but it's taking,
overhauled, or eliminated.
Hold on.
It's the system.
Hold on. It's taking advantage of your superstar.
Your word was mistreated.
And that's mistreatment.
They really treated him.
That's mistreatment.
Now, by the way, do we know
he's 30 years old? He's made $17 million.
He went to college. If he was better and he got drafted in the first round out of high school instead of the 25th, it would be different.
I can't even entertain that because that's just the way the rules are.
When he was 22, 23 years old. That's not the Yankees' fault.
But BT, that's immaterial. He's been a star since he came up. Right? And yeah, he had a couple of injuries. One was because he was trying to be a gold glover in left field and lays out for a ball and plays through it. And then he ends up hurting himself the following season. Right? He's a baller. He's your star. You know it. He crushed it in the home run derby. He became a household name.
Home run derby?
It doesn't matter, but it made him a national icon. It made kids in California, where he's from actually, in Texas, maybe even in Canada, probably Japan, want to buy a 99 jersey of the Yankees.
But they want to buy the 99 jersey because there's pinstripes on it. And that's what you're missing. Because Mike Trout, are the kids in Japan running out and buying Mike Trout? Now, I know the Judge is more dynamic
no, they're
than
not.
Trout.
And that's
because
my
there's
point.
not pinstripes on the Angels uniform, and that is a big part of the selling point.
No, they're actually buying Otani's jerseys over there.
Well, that's true. That's true.
You know
but
what
I mean,
I'm saying?
worldwide, are you going to gravitate to a jersey? I don't know. Listen, we go in circles with this, and I don't love the system.
He crosses over, and I wonder if that's and what you're positing here, BT, is that he crosses over because he wears the Yankees pinstripes. I'm saying he crosses over because he's a unicorn, right? He's a 6'7", 280-pound tight end playing baseball at a high level.
Now playing center field.
Now playing center field.
Trust me, you don't have to sell me on his
I'm
gifts.
not, but I'm just
They
telling
are
you. I'm just
tantalizing.
telling you why what the Yankees have done to him financially is it's egregious. And trust me, this pisses him off. Like,
I agree with that.
They think Cashman's an ass, right? And fans probably say the same thing, just like we talked about yesterday, despite the successes. Half the callers are like, yeah, I still don't like him. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. You got to overpay for your stars. I said this 3 weeks ago, and I say it again. The Yankees have known that Aaron Judge is a star and is their star. And as soon as he figured out how to stay healthy, which he has now done, he's going to win an MVP. Period.
Okay, 877-337-6666. Tiki and Tierney here on The Fan. In case you guys weren't aware, small detail, only a couple of mil, but the arbitrator cannot take into consideration this season, in case anybody was unclear about that. So I don't know how you do that. I mean, think about that. It's an unbiased voice. Does he have eyes?
Yeah.
Does he know what Aaron Judge is doing?
No.
How do you omit and delete that from your brain, your database?
You can't.
Yeah,
You can't.
If you're a human, I don't think that you can.
You can't, unless you don't follow baseball. And if you're an arbiter of a baseball hearing,
then you
probably
should
follow baseball.
Exactly. All right, let's hear what you guys think. The hearing is next week. It's obviously nut crunching time or nut cutting time. We're getting there. Ethan Hawthorne, first up. Hawthorne. That word. Hold on, Ethan. That word always messes me up.
Hawthorne.
You want
to put an R there, don't you?
Yeah, Hawthorne.
I can hear
Hawthorne.
I can hear you saying the R.
I don't like that. Ethan, what's happening, buddy? How are you?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
All right.
You guys are awesome. I love the show. I just want to talk about Aaron Judge. I think that the Yankees should absolutely do everything in their power to try to reopen contract negotiations during the All-Star break.
Yeah.
The whole thing was to not talk about it during the season, but the All-Star break is a perfect time to reopen contract negotiations. He's their franchise player. For somebody like me who's 19 years old, he's the best player that people my age have ever seen play for the Yankees. So we can't lose our franchise player. I mean, Judge's chambers and all that. Like, you got to give him what he wants.
You're right. And people are going to come throw some money at him if they get to the end of the season. I mean, that's a good loophole that you're talking about, Ethan. The regular season kind of doesn't include the All-Star break. Go have some conversations, right?
Oh, which, by the way, Ethan, I never believed that. And that's just a negotiating tactic. That's it. If we don't have a deal done by opening day, we're shutting down negotiations.
Yeah, you said that on opening day, too.
Until we come with $390 million, and maybe we entice you to open up negotiations again. Now, by the way, you use the word, I keep going back to the word mistreatment.
Yes.
All right, we can play the semantics game. I certainly get your point, but just to push it, and I don't fully disagree.
Financially mistreated.
I understand it's a little strong for me, but I got you. I respect where you're coming from. But do we know for sure that he is not monetizing Judge's chamber? Because we just got to throw that out there.
Him?
Yeah. Are we sure?
I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
No, it does a little bit, though.
It doesn't.
No, because
it
does.
Think about why LeBron James is a billionaire. It has nothing to do with what he's made on the basketball court. He's made, what, 300 something million? Not even. Maybe 200 something million dollars. He's a billionaire because of all the other things that have been tied to,
no question,
to him. I don't think that Aaron Judge has done that. I don't think that I don't see Aaron Judge having, I don't know, whatever it would be, a bat line. Whatever it would be.
I don't think he even cares, to be honest with you.
And you're right.
And you check Instagram and social media, Aaron Judge is a man of faith. He's reserved.
That's right.
LeBron's is in love with himself.
That's right.
And that's all he wants to do is put pictures of himself.
He wants to go make as much money off of his brand as he can.
And I don't
think Judge is that way.
I don't think I know he's not wired. That doesn't mean he want to cash in with his contract.
You just don't see him. You see him in a commercial here or there, but
not many.
So to answer your question, I think no. I don't.
Yeah,
think
I
he's
don't know the
I don't
answer
think
to
he's
that.
monetized Judge's Chambers.
I don't know how the Yankees then I might be able to get a little bit more behind with some steam behind the usage of the word mistreatment. Like if the Yankees are selling those tickets,
Well, aren't they? Didn't we have somebody call us and tell us that?
Well, they're kind of random, aren't they?
Yeah, but
it's still the I don't want to say name, image, and likeness, but everything is derived from him.
Yeah. Yes.
And his character.
Yes.
And the essence of Aaron Judge.
Yes.
If he has not gained a penny off that, I would say that that's flat out wrong. I don't know the answer to that. And I don't even mean millions upon millions but just some sort of little cut.
Yeah.
Little good faith piece, right?
no doubt.
Greg's in Rahway. Greg is on the
5
fan.
years. That's
Whoa.
all it is.
Whoa, hey,
Just
yo.
to please the fans.
Dude, Greg.
Hey,
Oh,
what's up,
Greg?
Greg?
Greg, you're on
Whoa.
the fan, buddy.
Hey,
I'm sorry, Brandon. Tiki,
Greg.
how you guys doing?
Oh.
all's good, man.
All right.
Who were you talking to, Greg? Who was that? A policeman?
My cohort walked in the door, and I started talking to him, and I lost track of where
Yeah,
I
tell him
was.
to get lost. More important conversations to have with us. Tell him to get out of the room. Fire away, Greg. What do you
What's up,
got?
Greg?
Down there yelling at you. Get out of the room.
That's right.
He's going to have to call in some other time on a baseball subject, but that's for later on. But right now, Judge, I don't think Steinbrenner is going to ever sign this guy.
Why? Because of the money?
I
Because
don't
it's too
believe it.
expensive?
I think he made his offer, and that's it. He's not going to move. This guy ain't going to spend money like his father did.
I can't believe that, Greg. I
I
just
don't think so.
cannot.
Go back and look
embrace
10 years
that.
back.
Yep.
I'm telling you guys,
Good,
you know
good.
what he does? Every 5 years he signs a big name. He did it with Stanton. He did it with Cole. He's only appeasing the fans so he doesn't get yelled at. Don't yell at Cashman. Yell at Steinbrenner. He's the
Well,
guy.
that's true.
Yeah.
The noise and the critiques. Thanks for the call there, Greg. The criticisms with Cashman are always baseball fueled.
Yes.
The issue with Steinbrenner is that it's monetarily fueled. I get that. Now he didn't sign Stanton. He traded for him. Just a little,
Yeah.
whatever. The Marlins picked up $30 million. He's actually not as bad of an albatross contractually as many people position it to be.
It looks like it on Spotrac, but he's not actually that bad.
And I'm going to keep bringing this up, and I always get hit with the tweets. What about Robbie Cano? I get it all the time. I'm going to ask it again. When was the last time that the Yankees had somebody that they really wanted to retain desperately, and that player walked? You want to say Cano? You know what I'll tell you? The Yankees didn't want to commit to him. They sensed something was wrong. There were whispers about that stuff.
Yep.
Yankees aren't dumb.
No.
They had no issue with him going to Seattle.
And
Trust
especially
me.
after dealing with the A-Rod stuff. With that,
Correct,
with
Tiki.
that stuff.
Correct.
They wanted nothing to
The
do with it.
lawsuits,
Yep.
the $6 million benchmarks when you pass Willie Mays and all the other home run things. Like, there were so many issues with that. They wanted to absolve themselves of Cano. Now, if they got a decent deal, then they would have kept him because Robbie Cano was good. They were not lamenting his exit. Trust me. So I'm going to ask you again. Who walked out on the Yankees that they absolutely wanted to keep? The answer's nobody.
It's always got to be a first.
Well, that's true. No, that's fair.
Hell yeah.
No, that's a fair response.